we go. I want to welcome everyone to week one, the recap show. I'm here, Albert Sitt, commissioner, joined by David Cohen of the Detroit Lions and Michael Harari of the Buffalo Bills. Gentlemen, welcome on the show. Thank you for joining us. I'll give David the opening floor here. David, thoughts on your week one victory and your team so far?
First of all, thank you, Albert, for having me. Pleasure being here, the first show with this kid, Michael Harari. I was about to actually pull up to his house. I called him on the phone. I said, "Who's at your house?" I saw a car there because that's where I just wanted to get comfy. So I'm gonna be living on Sunday because I heard Robert gave me a little inside scoop that Mike will be taking me on Sunday. So just
Wow.
wanted to get comfy in the living room. But
It would have been good. It would have been a good vibe, me and you next to each other. But next time,
what'd you say?
I said it would have been good. Me and you next to each other would have been intense. But we'll get it next time.
No, I didn't want you to be there. I wanted to be getting comfy in your home without you in your living room.
That would have been unbelievable. You should have just opened the screen up in my house.
That's what I was gonna do, but like it was weird if your mom was like sitting and whatever. So my thoughts on week one are I was very happy with my team. Pretty much exactly what I was expecting, honestly. Wouldn't exceed my expectations yet. We have a good all-around team, great options. Me, Al barely even got the ball, and I know he's going to be MVP nominee. So we're going to have
disagree with that
options, and then protection. Charles had all the time in the world. Very smart QB. He knows what he's doing. He knows what plays he can make, what plays he can't. He knows what everyone's capable of. So looking forward.
And Mike, on the other end, in your victory over the Rams, how did you feel with your new squad? I know you're a Brooklyn guy, commuting, whatnot. How did it feel to be on the field week one?
So before I get to the team, first of all, thank you for having me. Besides for getting to the team, I got to say this league is awesome so far. We have Perry's guys videoing. We have the crowd on the sideline going crazy. It's a very intense matchup. You feel it, in the game. It's not just there, but you really, you feel the intensity. So that's awesome. The team coming in, we really didn't know what to expect. Robert drafted, based off week one, I think he drafted an amazing team. Everyone was giving us doubts about our linemen. I think our linemen showed out. We got Michael Escava pulling up with a TD also and a 2-point conversion, I believe, which was awesome. Zach's amazing. He puts the ball in your hands. We have top 3 receivers, Robert, Josie, and then, Big Mike over here. Lou Sutton and Escava and Saka, everyone's doing their part. And, we're all playing together. We're all doing, everyone's putting their piece together in order to make, in order to win. And I think it's awesome what we've been doing so far. Robert's always being Robert. And it's really,
It's definitely going to be a full team effort. I know with your team, especially, with the trade that Robert made, trading up for Zach, for the bottom guys, the later picks to be stepping up will be definitely critical for your team in the long run, for sure.
Also, if you just look at the points, the score, what was it, like 42-15? That in itself just, it makes a statement.
So let's get into blowouts. Let's get into the matchups. I want to talk about them. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it. Let's start with the matchups that you weren't involved in. Let's start with the blowout of the day, I guess, the Ravens over the Chargers. This was a surprising one to me, 45-6. The Chargers offense almost non-existent. David, I know you know Isaac Tamam and Zach Harry very well. Did you see this coming, or was this surprising to you?
Yeah, this was a total surprise to me. These are my boys, like you said. Isaac Tamam's great Q. I had him last year. I was very happy with him. I saw a comment on the DSN on the Instagram. Someone said it looked like they were missing a leader. I love ZK, but he's got to be that guy to be the leader. If Mike Panitz is getting out of line or something, he's got to be the guy to put him down. It's not going to be Marty's a great player, but it's not going to be Marty. So I think they need a guy to bring the team together. That's what it looked like from the sidelines. Obviously, it's week one, and they'll bring it together.
You mentioned Panitz. Was there a situation there? Was he acting up?
No. Panitz, I just know he's known for these kind of just out of line.
Panitz is out of line, though. You got to see Mike Adjmi.
Well, we'll get to him.
Yeah,
We'll get to him later. Let's stay on this matchup. On
I'm
the
sure
flip side, Michael, I know you played with Siegel a few times last year.
Yes.
What do you think he brings to the table as a quarterback in this league?
So to give you my honest opinion, I was sitting on the sideline with Dave. I was telling Dave the whole time, this guy is an athlete. You see it in his body, you see it in his legs. He knows how to move the ball. Besides for throwing, he knows how to get the touchdown. Playing him last year, he's been amazing. I played with him once, and I actually texted him like, "Yo, if you can scoop me in the draft, definitely pick me." Actually, very happy with my team right now.
So you were trying to get onto Siegel's team.
I was trying to get onto Siegel's team because I didn't really know anyone in the league. I was new, I was a newcomer. But right when I got drafted, Michael Dennett gave me a call. He's like, "You're gonna love your team." He named Zach, Robert, Josie, all the guys, and I was happy with my team, that I have now.
So overall, I mean, we know Siegel's talents. Obviously, the reigning MVP. Made sure to remind everyone of that. I'm a little concerned for Isaac Tamam. Obviously, not a great year last year. He didn't show out this game. I think the clock is ticking. I would not be surprised, gentlemen, if Marty Antevy ends up playing quarterback for this team. I think with Zach Carey and Panitz, they have the talent at receiver. I spoke to Marty about it. He denied it. I wouldn't be so surprised. David, you played with Marty at QB, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it was really like a flea flick every play. Me or Marty get the ball and someone gets open. And I was gonna say that's probably what they should do. Maybe try it out. Give Marty a flea flicker, and maybe hit carry long or give Marty the option to run or whatever that is. But I don't know if taking Marty as an option off the receiver is as a receiver is a good option. Honestly, for me, I don't think. I mean, Tamam definitely has got to sharpen up his game right now, but I think he has the talent. It's just it's really just in his head right now. Honestly, that's what I think.
So you both were there watching the game. Now the question mark also coming in was the line. Were you guys at all seeing the line being successful? Was it unsuccessful? Was that causing Tamam to struggle, or was it really just Tamam not making the throws he needed to make?
Yeah, I was seeing Rocky Juris just charging through two guys, I think by himself, honestly.
Yeah,
So,
Rocky had a few sacks in that game. I think he had 2 sacks. Definitely
Rocky's a beast, but I guess that answers your question about the line.
Right. So I think the Chargers have to go back to the drawing board. They have to figure it out quick, because if they're on the losing end of another blowout like this, it's going to be a long season for them. On the flip side, the Ravens looked very impressive. I mean, 45 points. That's no cheapie. I want to give a shout out to Saul Towell. The kid didn't get a quarterback spot like he wanted and said, "I'm coming to play," and he came to play. He played great defense. He had a few big catches. So it's funny. I actually think that the Chargers should try to trade for Saul. I'm no disrespect to Isaac Tamam, but I have no confidence in him moving forward. I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know if we're ever going to see it.
He should change the dynamic a lot.
Say that again.
Said that would change the dynamic a lot.
I think Carey and Tamam have that connection that I don't know if they're going to break. I mean, even if Carey sees that opening of maybe getting Saul, like you said, even before that, Carey didn't want Saul, so I don't really see that happening. Also,
maybe he's got to save his season. I don't know, because Marty Antevy having 1 catch, your first overall pick having 1 catch, is just unacceptable.
I'll give a little inside scoop. When me and Mike were on the sideline, Marty, he gave a little comment under his breath. He said, "I hate these play calls." That's what he said. So maybe it just seems like a little unorganized.
So they got to figure out the huddle, maybe.
Yeah, it seems just inside team problems that they need to fix. And
I think
they have the talent.
I think Zach Carey's got to study the playbook a little bit this week. How you doing? He's got to study the playbook a little bit more this week. I think I definitely agree with that. And I expect them to come out strong this week. I don't think we'll be disappointed again by them. Let's get to the next matchup from this week. Let's talk Dolphins Steelers here for a second. I'm gonna come up front just because I was the one who gave them an F draft grade. The Dolphins impressed me, and I want to apologize to the Dolphins. They didn't do much yet. They won 1 game, but they look like a much better team than I gave them credit for. And that's starting with Meyer Casson at quarterback. He looked awesome. They had a few receivers. Danny M looked awesome. This Panicil kid looked good. What do we see in the Dolphins moving forward?
Mike.
I don't know
I
much.
didn't really get to see the Dolphins much. I know Myers a great athlete. Played with him last year. I know Danny M is great on defense, and he has great hands. Victor Batty's quick. Alan Mustachi's their other line, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And then Braha, and then if this guy's great, then it's a great all around team.
And they got Fonz involved on the offense. He had a reception for a touchdown. He went through three guys to get it. On the flip side, the Steelers did not look pretty. Elliott Saka, not an Elliott Saka type game. Throwing incompletions here or there. It doesn't seem like he has his number one guy. I know, David, you played against Sim last year. I don't know, Michael, if you know Sim well at all. I don't know if you ever seen him play.
Right now.
Yeah, you haven't, right? So he's got to be the number one on this team, and I'm very concerned for this team as well. I don't know. I don't know if he could be the number one guy. They're probably gonna have to make a trade. I do want to shout out Murad Kassin. Had 5 receptions on his rookie debut, and ABJ Surya came to play. So, David, I know you know Elliott. Do you think that this is the new Elliott? Do you think it's his team, or what do you think?
Personally, Elliott is a great Q. And he's a very smart quarterback. He knows the game very well. Last year, I think he had a much better team surrounding him, to give him those stats and the team that they had with Ruby and Danny M, and they were a good all around team. I think better than this team. And yeah, I think they might have just took a few too many lottery picks that they were not so sure of.
Yeah, I think the Roden pick is a little bit questionable now. The Gruskin pick a little bit questionable. Ralph Hannon had a good day. Defensively, he didn't. I would have expected to see him 1 or 2 sacks on this on the stat sheet. He didn't get that. I expect the Steelers again to play better. I don't think they're a good team. I think that right now they're probably at the bottom of the power rankings. I know the Chargers got blown out more, but they played a tougher team than the Steelers did. So Dolphins moved to 1-0. Meyer Kassin looking like an MVP, throwing for 7 touchdowns. If he can play up to this level, I mean, this team has a shot. With Danny M and Panangil out wide, they definitely can compete. I don't think they'll be that F grade that I gave them originally, but I'm excited to see what they are able to accomplish. And the Steelers, they got to fix it quick. There's no question about it. All right, Mike, your time's up. Let's talk about the Bills and the Rams here, all right? Okay. Bills knocking off the Rams 48-21. Take us through this matchup. Take us through the locker room. What were the guys talking about pregame? What was the matchups you were looking for? Let us tell the people. Let's hear it.
Right. So we walk on. You hear Mike Adjemi screaming his lungs off. And in the beginning, I was like, all right, he's screaming. Maybe this guy is a power quarterback. I played with him once in Dollar Football League, that old flappish league in the summertime. And he was solid. I didn't really know much about him. And then it was Robert just made the matchups. We just went, whatever you said, and because it was our first week, we're going to play everything out, see how we all play. I believe they got the first touchdown. When they got the first touchdown, we were a little bit worried. Adjemi was screaming even more. And then we just went off from there. Zach showed his stripes. He was hitting Rob, hitting me in the beginning. I think I got the first touchdown in the beginning of the game. And the linemen, like I said in the beginning, the linemen really, they proved themselves. You guys in the beginning, every interview we had, everyone's like, I don't know about the linemen. I don't know about the linemen that they have. But Zach had time. And Zach also, with his ACL injury, he was still running through the pocket. He was still making the moves. He was able to get out there. He was able to envision, the field.
That's a big thing because last year he had 0 mobility. So if he's able to get a little bit of mobility back
last year or something,
he'll be much more dangerous.
Yeah. So Zach's amazing. He won MVP for a reason this week, right? And yeah, he just knows how to put the ball in the hands.
So I want to talk about Robert for a second because he had a great day offensively. Most of your guys did, but defensively, he had 3 interceptions. Yes. How big is that to be able to take 3 possessions away?
I love how you mentioned that because when we were talking on the sideline with Dave, they said every time Robert's taking D, he ends up becoming the receiver. which is true. Rob really knows how to track the ball. Every play they kept throwing deep balls to Gordon, and Rob was really intercepting a lot of them. Robert's amazing all around player, as we always know.
Yeah.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete, and he really killed it this week, especially on offense and defense. He had two touchdowns on offense, and then I believe he got 3 picks. If I'm not
Yes, 3 picks. So obviously those 3 picks coming off of Mike Ajmi. What did you see from Mike Ajmi in this one? Was it just first game jitters, or is this who Mike Ajmi is?
Right. So I think honestly, it's easy to break him down. Once you get the first touchdown and the next touchdown, you have the lead, you could take over. But I think if he's in his zone and he has the lead, I think he could get to the touchdown. But I think once you have that lead, once you have that edge on him, I think the game's over. Honestly, that's
and who did it seem, because they have Albert Cohen and Gordon, picked right next to each other in the draft. Obviously, Joe made that trade not to pick David, David, I want to get your thoughts on in a little bit. Who did it look like was the number 1 on the team? Was it Gordon, or was Albert the focus of the offense?
It could have been Gordon, but you had Robert on him taking over. Albert Cohen, I believe, was playing tight end. When you have a guy in the safety, also, it's tough to to analyze the field. But I think Albert Cohen in that game was the guy. If he for the future games as well, I think he'll be that guy. But Gordon's a great player also. He got some nice receptions there.
So the Bills moved to 1-0. You guys have a big matchup this week. Rams fall to 0-1. They got to go back to the drawing board. But I think that they'll have some fight coming into this week. Let's talk about the last matchup of the week. David, your Lions taking on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers obviously were pretty much 50% occupancy. A lot of subs, a lot of who knows what. Jackie Eshko coming in. What was the mindset coming in? You guys knew they were down 3-4 players. Was this one of those, all right, we're going to blow them out, or was it, we got to take them serious no matter what?
Honestly, we came into the game thinking we have to prove something. The season didn't even start yet. Everyone's not everyone, but we were graded a high grade. Zach gave us some credit saying we're a good team. And we were getting some slap back from ABJ and people who were saying, why are we getting all this? So we really thought we had to prove something. We weren't taking it lightly at all. Obviously, Mo Hala, we don't know what to expect with him on the field. So we were preparing for really war.
How would Mo Hala play? I'm curious.
He played great. I think he's exactly what you would expect. You're not going to get by him if you're a big man, but if you're small and quick, I think you could squirm around him. And then on offense, he was really just in the red zone. He's unstoppable. You could put your whole team on his back and he'll just somehow grab it in. But it seems like he could, I don't know. He could be,
Could be a big time player for sure.
When did Mo Hala get drafted?
Mo Hala was drafted 9th overall. So David, I want to talk about that for a second. Was there any communication between you and Joe Adis prior to the draft taking place about him selecting you, or?
No. So I actually was not aware of this whole trade that you're talking about until the recap video that you said he traded up for instead of me or Charles traded for me and then whatever. So I was a little bit surprised, but I could see where he's coming from. Maybe last year I had a bad year, or maybe he wanted a different vibe, whatever it was. But Joe Adis wrote me off, and I am right back. So
sound a little like Gino right there. We know where that came from. So David, I gotta give you a shout out because I was watching one play from your game, and you called like a quick flat, and I thought you were running right out of bounds. And somehow you made it. You stayed in bounds, still got upfield, almost got into the end zone. They called you out of bounds. I don't know if you know the play I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
That I gotta give you credit, all the credit in the world, because I don't know how you stayed in bounds. That was the most ridiculous play I've ever seen. One of the most ridiculous plays I've ever seen, and it wasn't even like a catch or anything. So I have to give you credit for that. It was truly incredible.
I gotta see that video. See if I stepped out.
I definitely think you stepped out, but just the fact that you stayed in the first time was wild. I couldn't believe it with my own eyes.
Thank you.
So David, before we move on with the show, Charles Sack at quarterback. Let's be honest here. Forget about the chat. Forget about your own locker room. You're on the show now. we want, real honest opinions. How was he at quarterback?
I really would like to compare him a little bit to Elliott. He's a smart player. Again, he knows what he's capable of. He makes the smart plays. He's not as athletic as Elliott, obviously, but I think with our team around him, he really is up for success. I think he was like second in completion percentage
this week. Yes.
I think he maybe threw one pick and it wasn't really so bad. It was a throw up play. But again, he's a smart player. I don't expect him to throw that many picks, and we have the team around him to give him as little mistakes.
You definitely have the talent around for sure. All right, gentlemen, thank you both for your.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who do you think, based off week 1, do you think will win the Super Bowl? I know it's a tough question, but
I made my pre-week 1 Super Bowl prediction. I'm not
now that you see
I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna hold with what I said for the time being. I'm gonna keep with the. Well, let's get into the predictions for this week, because the first matchup I want to talk about is my Super Bowl prediction. Obviously, I'm not going to ask your opinion, so this will just be me here. Bills and Lions, 9:00 matchup, kicking off week 2. This is, like I said, I think the Super Bowl matchup. I'm going to take the Lions to win this game. One, because I want to hear Zach talk his chatter, otherwise it's not fun. And two, because I think that Michael Harari can't take Al Sultan or David Buka Cohen, one or the other. So one of those will be a mismatch.
You haven't seen me on defense yet.
Say it again?
You haven't seen me on defense yet.
I don't think you play defense, so it doesn't really matter.
Cornerback.
So I'll take the Lions to win by 2 points. I think Lions -2 is a fair line. Zach is obviously the better quarterback in this matchup, but I think the Lions have the superpower to defeat Zach and Robert and Michael. All right, so I'm not going to ask you guys.
I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in there. I think Mike will be fine. I mean, definitely if he's on me, he probably won't be fine, but yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think the real deal breaker of this game is going to be the line. I think our line really is much stronger, and I think that could be the real.
Great point you make. So I'm confident that Lions -2. Maybe it's even 3 with that, throwing that in, but I'll keep it at 2. Next matchup, 9:00, is Rams and Buccaneers. Both losing teams in week 1. I just had word from Joe Adis, unconfirmed, but Joe Adis just texted me before saying that Mike Ajmi was going to be out this week. So they're looking to pick up a sub. So keep that in mind when you make your prediction. Mike, we'll start with you. Rams and Buccaneers. Who you got here?
Rams and Buccaneers. I need some players on the teams.
So Rams is the team you just beat, and Buccaneers would be Charlie Saria Mo Hala team.
Mo Hala, no question. That team, they look at the score last week. They got Albert Cohen, they got Gordon, and you had Ajmi which didn't really show out this past week. So I haven't seen the other team.
We also blew out the Bucks. Look at that score.
Right. What was the score there?
40.
I think it was like 45-21, 43-21, something like that.
Right.
But the Buccaneers didn't have their team, so you're taking the Buccaneers here.
I'm going to take the Buccaneers. They also looked like they were running. I like the jerseys also.
David, you obviously played the Buccaneers. Who do you like in this matchup?
I honestly like the Bucks here with their real team. I think Sammy and Ruby are going to be great for Ike. Ike's a great Q with good receivers and protection around him. Charlesy was looking great. I'm taking the Bucks here, and that's my pick.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you, boys.
If I had a better sense of the team, I'd give a more sophisticated answer, but I don't want to.
I'm gonna follow you boys here and take the Buccaneers. I liked what I saw out of Ike Mavora this week. I think Charlesy held his own as a captain. Tough, obviously, under the circumstances of his team. But Sammy Eshko, Ruby, both coming back to an 0-1 team. You know they're going to be fighting. David Sassen's going to be there. Their line will be much better, especially with Mo Hala. Hopefully he's healthy. I'll take the Buccaneers -6. Buccaneers to win by 6. Next matchup, we got the another matchup of the losers, the Chargers and the Steelers. David, I'll let you start off with this one. Chargers at Steelers.
Steelers. I think I'm going to take the Chargers here just because of the heart here because it looks like the Chargers want to shape everything together, and it looks like the Steelers are already throwing in the white towel. Their leader is already calling them 0-7. I don't know if he's joking or not, but it's just not a good look for the Steelers right now.
Michael Harari, Steelers Chargers. What do we think?
Like I said again, I don't know much of the players, but everyone was they were crapping on the Steelers last week. What was the deal there?
Say that again.
Everyone was crapping on the Steelers last week. What was the deal there?
They didn't show up to play. They got beat by a team that was given an F grade overall. So once you lose to a team like
right, and Saka's quarterback there,
Elliott Sack is the QB, 4th overall selection.
Wow. All right, Doc. If I really knew the team, I'd give you a legitimate answer, but I don't want to talk out of my ass.
you got to just pick a name out of a hat, just so people could put it on their bulletin board.
Steelers. What was the other team?
Chargers.
Who's on the Chargers?
Marty Anteby, Carey, Panitz.
I already know my answer. Once you said Marty Anteby, I played with Marty Anteby last year. He's a committed player. He makes plays, and he's very on top of the game. So I would definitely go with Marty.
Again, I have to agree with you guys. I think the Chargers are going to dismantle the Steelers. I think one thing Zach said in the post-draft video was that Tamam eats on bad defenses, and I think this is a bad defense here, and I think it's a good matchup for him. I think it's a wake-up call after last week for the Chargers. I think that the Chargers win by 17. I'm going to set a heavy line. Chargers minus 17 over the Steelers.
Wow. It's going to be a closer game than that.
You think it's going to be closer?
Yeah. I
just didn't see anything out of the Steelers to give me confidence that they're going to be able to compete.
Elliott Sack is a competitor, so I don't think he's going to let his team do that, honestly. But the leadership, so.
Yeah, I putting up plus 17 for Elliott Sack. I'm sure people will be running to the books to place those bets. And then final matchup, the two 1-0 teams, Ravens and Dolphins. Before you make your picks, Meyer Casson is out this week. We know newlywed, he has obligations, in other places. We understand. So Meyer Casson won't be playing. I'm assuming they're going to be picking up a sub. So this is Ellie Siegel's Ravens at the Meyerless Dolphins. Who wants to go first? Yeah, I'll let you guys choose it out.
Like you said, Meyerless Dolphins. When you don't have your quarterback and you don't have your team put together, it's very difficult to beat a team. And on top of that, to beat a team with Eli Siegel, I don't know, whatever you say, however you say it, but
Eli Siegel.
So I think that when your team's not there, and then on top of that, you're playing Siegel, I think it's a tough matchup. I think Siegel will take the win there.
And David?
I'm going to agree here. Not even because no Meyer. I think even if Meyer was there, I would be taking the Ravens. They look really good with Siegel at Q. Citron looks great. I think I would take the Ravens either way with or without Meyer.
So if Meyer were there, I would pick the Dolphins, just because they really impressed me, and I owe it to them to be on their bandwagon now. Even though they'll probably say I'm too late. Without Meyer and without knowing who's going to be replacing Meyer, I don't know if the Dolphins are going to compete. Obviously they want to fight for their captain, but I don't know if they're going to be able to compete up to the level of the Ravens with Ellie Siegel. We know he's going to come prepared. So I'll give the Ravens a -5 over the Dolphins, pending their sub. May get worse if it's not as good of a sub, but Ravens -5 should take care of business. All right, gentlemen. Thank you both very much for your insight, for your expert analysis. Michael, all the way from Brooklyn, we appreciate it. You're always welcome in our neighborhood. David, we appreciate your time as well. Thank you both. And I'll give you both a final statement before we shut it down here.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for having us. It was a great show. And I'd just like to say I agree with that Super Bowl prediction. Bills Lions. I guess we'll see it this Sunday.
It's cool. It's cool to have your Super Bowl predictions in one Zoom in the first week. I think the Bills will take it home. I think no one even knows the team we have here. But it's awesome playing in this league, honestly. We have the recap Zooms. You have Perry's videos, like I said in the beginning.
Well, Michael, I just want to make it clear to you. We don't usually do Zoom. Usually we do an in-person video. But because you're being in Brooklyn, we made an exception just to have you on the show because we wanted your presence so much.
I'd love to do an in-person one. It's more chill. We could bring some cracking up crackers, you know. But yeah, no,
You had to throw it in.
the league's been great, and yeah, I'm pumped for the rest of the season. Honestly.
All right, boys. Thank you very much. We'll see you Sunday. Don't be late.
Yeah, Sunday.